Hello, my name is Rose Riley, and I'm a member of the League of Women Voters of Washtenaw County. Welcome to our online candidate forum for the November 8th general election. The League is a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization that promotes voter education and participation, and we host candidate forums to help voters make informed choices. Now, let's hear from the candidates.
Good evening. My name is Dee DeShawn, and I will moderate the forum this evening. It's my honor to introduce one of two candidates running in the November general election for Washtenaw County Commissioner, District 1. Democrat Jason Maciejewski is here with us this evening. The other candidate, Republican Jeff Robbins, did not respond to numerous invitations to participate in this forum. So, we thank you, Mr. Maciejewski, for participating in this forum. And we're now ready for your opening statement.
Thank you, Dee, and thank you to the League of Women Voters for hosting this particular event tonight. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about the issues before the county and how I would approach them. I want to start off by telling you a little bit about myself. My name, again, Jason Maciejewski. I represent District 1 currently on the County Commission. I'm in my second term, running for a third two-year term. I live in Dexter Township with my wife, Molly, and we have three kids, Quentin, Riley, and Paxton. Quentin graduated from Dexter High School, and my two younger kids are in Chelsea schools. So I have experience kind of with both different school districts. I work as the Chief Executive Officer of an agency called the Senior Alliance, which is the area agency on aging. And we do things like Meals on Wheels and provide services for older adults. I served on the Dexter Township Board for 8 years as an elected trustee before I was on the County Commission, and notably was 10 years on the Western Washtenaw Recycling Authority Board. The final 3 as chair of that body as well.
Thank you. So, Mr. Maciejewski, the first question, the topic is the use of federal funds. Washtenaw County will receive more than $70 million in federal American Rescue Plan funds. In July, the University of Michigan's Poverty Solutions Center evaluated Washtenaw County's use of these funds. The U of M report recommended that the county prioritize adequate one-time investments in a limited number of initiatives, rather than spreading the funding too thinly among multiple programs. So the report also recommended a focus on achieving specific, measurable goals. Is the county spending ARPA funds as recommended by the U of M report?
Great question. So really important question as well, with such a substantial amount of funding that we have the opportunity to work with. I believe that the county is doing a very diligent job in terms of determining what we're going to do with the American Rescue Plan Act dollars. We have put a focus on addressing a variety of needs across the county as a whole. For me, in District 1, in our part of the county, a big piece of this was the broadband initiative that we put into the first ARPA allocation that we did about a year ago. And the goal there is to deliver broadband internet service to everybody in the county, and to be the first county in the state of Michigan to be able to do that. That took a substantial chunk of the American Rescue Plan Act dollars, almost $15 million. But again, across the entire county, over the next 3 to 4 years, we're going to be delivering that. So to me, that was a very focused, deliberate thing, and very important for a variety of reasons in our county. We've done numerous things with our American Rescue Plan Act dollars to date, including addressing healthcare issues, issues related to socioeconomic issues as well. We have put a focus, I think very deliberately, on issues that impact, I think, daily points in people's lives, as well as looking a little bit long-term in terms of things like the child savings accounts for college and initiating that effort as well. We just approved a third round of American Rescue Plan Act funding, which includes some infrastructure projects as well, which will be important for the western part of Washtenaw County as well. So I do believe that we're not spreading ourselves too thin, and we're also not making commitments that are beyond the life of the American Rescue Plan Act. I think we're really focused on this 2 to 3 year window and expending dollars within that window.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, the next question has to do with safe drinking water. 2 chemical spills, PFAS and Chrome 6, have endangered drinking water in the county. What steps should the Board of Commissioners take to ensure safe drinking water for county residents?
Yeah, so we addressed that right away. At the first meeting of the County Commission after that incident happened, I called for a strong statement by the County Commission to the state of Michigan, calling on the state to implement the harshest penalties possible against the polluter. And then we came back later at a subsequent meeting and passed that resolution, making the statement that this is not a situation that we can let go, that the state needs to get the polluter to pay for what they did. And immediately we took that step. Long term, you got the issues like Gelman in the dioxin plume that we've been addressing and did address a couple of years ago by going for the federal Superfund designation. The primary concern there is the expansion of that dioxin plume towards Barton Pond and the drinking water source for the city of Ann Arbor. I think we took a really diligent look at the plume, how it could be moving and what we could do, not only as a county government, but in collaboration with the other interveners on that project. So I think a collaborative approach is really important. County government working with state government and local government as well to protect our drinking water and our resources. The County Water Resource Commissioner is a big part of that process as well. So I think we did react pretty quickly to the chromium 6 situation, and we'll continue to monitor drinking water issues as we move forward.
Thank you. All right, next question has to do with election fairness. Do you believe that Washtenaw County operates free and fair elections? What additional steps, if any, should be taken to secure election processes and ensure public confidence in elections?
I absolutely believe that Washtenaw County has and will continue to operate free and fair elections. I think we have a very strong electoral process. The county clerk, in partnership with the Secretary of State, has in my opinion, a robust system of auditing elections, and has done so historically back across time. I think what we need more of is we need more people who are willing to volunteer to help administer elections on election day and go through that process. I'm encouraged today that I think we're going to pass the proposal before the voters across the state to further codify the rights of voters in our electoral process. So I think we need to keep doing what we're doing. I think we have a rather good process in place for elections, and we need to maintain it.
Good, thank you, sir. So, next question has to do with the after effects of COVID-19. The COVID pandemic disproportionately affected Washtenaw County's least privileged citizens, especially those living in zip codes 48197 and 48198. Are there additional steps the county should take to address the effects of COVID on these residents?
Yes, and we debated that and implemented some strategies during the pandemic as well to focus on those zip codes which are historically underserved in terms of healthcare services. I will point to just the issue of testing, the testing sites for COVID. Folks on the west side of the county are probably familiar with the site off of Wagner Road that has been operating. And there was a like minded site over on the east side of the county as well. Putting a testing site in that community, which was really severely affected, but also doing it, on the west side of the county too. I think when we talk about access to services and resources during the pandemic, after the pandemic, county resources in general, I think the county as a whole needs to think differently and think about how people learn about services, interact with county government. For some people, billboards and radio ads, information on a website is sufficient. For others, to reach them and to get the information about the resources that are available, we need to do things and reach out differently. Maybe through a faith-based community, maybe through neighborhood associations, maybe through more in-person presence to make people aware of potential resources that are available in the county. And in our portion of the county where I live, a big thing is telling people about what resources are available to them from the county. One of the things that I was able to do was work on coming up with a solution to better fund the soil conservation district and to make those resources available to people in the western part of the county. So during COVID, after COVID, we got to work with public health, we got to work with behavioral health to reach people in a different way.
Thank you. And Mr. Maciejewski, this is your final question. Has to do with county worker pay. Recently, some Washtenaw County employees went on strike demanding higher wages. A 2020 compensation study for the county found that county workers' pay lagged 7 to 12% behind market wages. What should be done by the Board of Commissioners to address the issue, and how would you pay for it?
So we have, over the past several years, we're working through a process that we call MAG, M-A-G. It's the company that helped the county, even before I was elected, come up with a plan to address wage compensation for county staff. We need to implement the MAG study and the pay increases that go with that. I am hopeful that if not 2022, in 2023, we can fully implement MAG. This needs to be done in partnership with our labor partners here in the county and in the county staff. It needs to be done before any other reorganization of county staff is done, before any compensation increases are given to high county administrative staff. So for me, implementing MAG is an important thing. And I think we'll address many of the issues, Dee, that you asked in your question. So I look forward to advocating to push that to the implementation phase and compensate our county workers, many of whom were on the front lines of healthcare and community mental health during the pandemic, and do important jobs for all of us on an everyday basis. So for me, getting MAG implemented is one of the priorities coming up. If we don't get it done by 22, early in the next term of the county commission.
Thank you, Mr. Maciejewski. And thank you for answering our questions. And now it's time for your closing statement.
Great, thank you. And again, I appreciate the opportunity to talk with the League of Women Voters tonight about county government. There's a few things I want to touch on that are topics that we didn't cover in the questions. One of them being broadband and delivering that project is an important priority for me in the next term, but also the Chelsea courthouse situation. We're in a process right now where court services are different coming out of the pandemic. There's a lot more telephonic work. And there's, I think, some questions around what services are going to be available at the Chelsea courthouse. I want to continue the fight to maintain a county district court presence in the city of Chelsea, in partnership with the city of Chelsea county government and the court administration. So I look forward to being able to work on that and maintain those services for people that live west of Zeeb Road. Another issue I think is really important for us going ahead is the climate action plan, where we have a goal by the year 2030 to bring county operations to a carbon neutral position. and then work beyond that for the county as a whole. I think it's a really important aspect that county government is undertaking over the next several years. I want to continue to support the border-to-border trail in completion of that project. And I also want to continue my work with the Commission on Aging and address the issues that are impacting older adults. So as we move forward in subsequent years here, we're going to get to nearly 1 in 4 residents of this county being age 60 or over, and addressing how the county interacts with older adults and bringing their voice into our discussions. So I want to thank you again for the opportunity to appear this evening.
And thank you, Mr. Maciejewski, and we thank you for participating in this valuable discussion.
The League thanks the candidates and volunteers who participated in tonight's forum and community members who submitted questions. Please urge others to view our forums. Most importantly, please vote in the November 8th general elections, either by absentee ballot or in person.